Alright, so it's been about a real life day. These had all grown, my ender lily seeds, so I went ahead and I'm going to plant 4 over here within the lily pad of fertility's radius, and a couple outside of it because I do remember at some point reading something about if you tried to use like a sprinkler or a watering can on the ender lily seeds, it would just make them not grow or it would slow them down. So I want to see if the lily pad, I don't know if that's absolutely true or not, but I also want to see like, does the lily pad of fertility trigger that? Because if it does, obviously we're going to have to get rid of this and just let this thing grow. And on another note, this farm thing here seems to be working pretty well. So it's a couple stacks of ender essence and a bunch of gold, because we obviously have more gold. So I think what we'll probably do is go ahead and make at least one more of the, or not one more, 4 more of the, what am I doing? I want to go this way. 4 more of the ender lily seeds. Here we go. I think that does it. Let's see. Ender seeds. Not ender lily seeds, just ender seeds. Oh, I need actual seeds. Seeds. There we go. And we're going to need... Let's see, 13. Okay, that should definitely be enough. So if we put this in there, and these there, and that should get us 4 seeds. Perfect. Put that back. Put that back. Come back out here. And throw these back in there. And then we should be able to go ahead and just plant some more of those. That should really go a long way to eliminating our ender lily issue, or our ender pearl issue. So because of that, I'm going to go ahead and make... Oh, you know one thing I wanted to check. Oh. Okay. Some versions... oh, what is that? That is like... Hold on. Let me fix that. I'll be right back. My computer's sticky key thing came on because I was using shift too much to go up and down the elevator. But some versions of extra utilities, the elevator... Or open blocks, sorry. The elevator uses experience whenever you use it. And a lot of packs have that turned off, but I wasn't sure if this one did or not. You'll also notice that I went ahead and made a bunch of machines and put them over here. They're not powered or they're not hooked up to anything. But the eventual goal is going to be a magma crucible and fluid transposer for ender, and one for redstone. And we've got an induction smelter and an induction smelter so that we can make the various things we need to make tesseracts, and probably other things, and then a redstone furnace, because eventually we'll just pulverize all of the nether stuff that'll be stored here, and then the furnace will be able to... I might have more than one, but I'll probably have them set up with some... I can't remember what it's called. The thing in AE that emits a redstone based on... What? Why is that still clicking? Alright, I'm going to have to figure that out, so hold on a second, and I'll be back. Okay, theoretically I've fixed sticky keys. So, hold on. Alright, so let's make an elevator. We need wool. Sure, 4 green wool, 4 red wool, it doesn't really matter. And an ender pearl gets us an elevator. And then drop the elevator, there we go. And then we need blue. There we go, blue tree dye. And I believe this is going to be the last elevator that we need. Yeah. So put that there, color it blue. And now we've got elevators everywhere we need to have elevators. So that is pretty sweet. All we need to do is probably fill in that one piece of cobble. And like I said, ideally what's going to happen is you need to start on Thaumcraft so that I can get Wand of Equal Trade. Speaking of which, at Thaumcraft, the first thing we're going to need to make, and this is Thaumcraft, I believe, 4.1C? Let's say it's C, it might be something different. The last time I went all the way through all of the research and into Kami was 0.1, or not 0.1, 0.0, 4.0. So the new mini-game system will be a little new to me, and there's a couple new items and devices, but other than that, we should be good. Ooh, the bow of bone. Interesting. What I'm looking for is this. There we go, the thermometer. Alright, and I know we're going to need an additional one. I bet I cannot... Right, I don't have the required knowledge to understand that yet. We'll put that in there, because we're going to need that. I forget what recipe needs that later, but I'm sure we need one. Alright, so basically the way this is going to work is now you go around and you scan stuff. So you say stone, let me right-click on it, it scans it. I found 2 Saxum, and then it flies up to the upper right-hand corner. And you can scan all sorts of stuff. Obviously, oh, Perdido, discovered that. Dirt, there's some Terra, there's a ton of these things. So, and a lot of times you can see in the lower right hand corner, I do not have all the knowledge required to understand this. That means for uranium, there's some aspect on there that I need to discover before it'll let me scan it. But yeah, basically you're going to spend a lot of time running around and scanning things. And if right-clicking does something to it, you can shift right-click to stop yourself from interacting with it. So, like, if I tried to scan this better barrel normally, I would just put I would have to right-click, which would put the thermometer in the barrel. So if I shift right-click, I can try and scan it, although I can't actually scan it. Anyway, so there's going to be a whole lot of me running around scanning stuff like this for a while, because you just sort of have to get a lot of aspects. Can I do Cinnabar yet? I don't. There are various things online about what order to scan things in so that you discover all of the... Can you fly? So that you discover all of the various aspects the quickest, but we don't really have those yet, so that's fine. Anyway, I'm going to run around and scan some things, and not that we're going to necessarily super get started with Thaumcraft, but it's something I should start with so that I can start scanning things. So, back in a bit. Alright, so what we've got is, just in case something should happen to the power source, because what I'm considering is, okay, I have all these machines, and presumably I will have more machines attached to my AE system. So when I do that, am I going to have to... Do I want to run those machines off of this same redstone energy cell? Or do I want to tap into the line that's going behind there that goes down from the jungle tree? That's sort of a toss-up. The problem being, if this controller runs out of energy because this stops supplying it because, for instance, let's say I'm using too much, like, you know, it's not refilling that last little bit. That's probably just because it's not. If that runs out, this shuts down and I can't get to my inventory anymore. So anything I have in here to help me fix the problem, I can't access because there's no power. So, just in case, to stop that off, every time I run around, I keep getting all these extra saplings. So I've just started putting them in a couple barrels, and I put a little barrel of water next to it, so that I can actually, what I want to do is go ahead and grab this. Let me just go ahead and fill the dynamo with water. I think that should do it, yeah. And then what we've got is a Bibliocraft case. So it'll just hold that bucket of water in there, just because if I need it. And then I've got some saplings. So if something were to happen, I could shut off all the other outputs, have this just output straight to the controller, and throw in the various things. So I think that means I should be able to use this power for these machines, which of course is going to mean that I need more redstone conduit. Oh, maybe I don't. But I probably will. Oh, where is it? Where's the redstone conduit? There it is. Alright, so that works out pretty well. So if I do 2 stacks of redstone, and let me go ahead and get another stack. I also have been to the Nether and got a lot more nether quartz. Nether, I don't know which one. Anyway, so I have more nether quartz because so much runs off of this, and it's so much easier to just go ahead and use the nether quartz as opposed to, or the fused quartz as opposed to the glass. Now, what's interesting is that I have 16 again. It makes me wonder if it uses more than... yeah, it uses 4 at a time. That's why you only get 16. So, it uses a lot more of the quartz, but the obsidian coal thing is not exactly what I want to use right now. So let's stick that in there. And then this plus that. I was making some additional energized... item ducts. Also, off camera, we ran into an issue in that I noticed that a lot of these were not supplied with all 8 of the various materials. And that was because what had happened is I was using the extra utilities transfer pipes. Well, those don't really have... I mean, you can set a filter on them if you had filter ones, but I did not. I just had regular. And it sucked all of the seeds and the barley seeds out of the barrels. Well, when that happened, it just filled them up with whatever the next thing happened to be, which happened to be pumpkin seeds. So I had like 4 barrels of pumpkin seeds. These things were running on like 4... Like, this one still doesn't have those left. So, you know, it's running on 455... millibuckets. It's just not quite what I was hoping for. On the plus side, this is coming along quite nicely. We're almost halfway full. So I shut off all 7 of these, just because I want to let the system recoup itself a little. So anyway, what I did is obviously I used impulse item ducts, which are just item ducts, and then you take infused glowstone through the fluid transposer, and it makes them go much quicker. So now we have that. We have item filters on all of these, servos to pull, so much better. And then I went ahead and closed up all of the gaps that I had left open with some cobble, or at least all that I could. So yeah, so we did all that. Now, let's see. Let me put some of this away here. That and that, and this, and that and this. Okay, and so I've noticed that with this being enchanted with efficiency 4, it really does make quite a difference. So if I'm going to use this on that, do I want to go out and around and come back? Or do I want to go down and under and there? I think probably under. But I think I only have... right. That's the end. So I think I'll probably have to come out here. Oh, that's weird. That was weird. So I think maybe even I should come over here and do this. And you can see just how quickly with the haste buff and all that, that it mines through regular stone, and then how slowly this geostrata stuff still goes. This is where I sort of wish that I had morph. I mean, I know morph gets a lot of criticism, and it is probably a little too powerful. But the whole 1x1 thing is probably its best feature. The early flight is nice, but the 1x1 thing is probably the big one. Okay, so what we definitely don't want, well, that's what we don't want, is that. So the back side is going to be the pulling side. So, yeah, we're just going to have it exit the top. That's good, that's good, that's good. Alright, all the rest of these are good. So let's see. No, those are still showing as... Okay, there we go. So what are these? Change that around. There we go. Put a little light over here. Alright. So if I'm going to have it on the top for some, I might as well... Oh, no. Nope, nope. Right. Because that's going to come in from there. And then this, instead of being on the back, we're going to have that be on the top. Right, yeah. Right. And then this is going to be on the top. This is going to be on the top. So that way, either the input or the output is always going to be on the top. Where's the input on here? So that, oh, okay, you know what? Yeah, let's do that. So that way the back is just going to be pretty much an input for almost everything. That'll make it nice and easy. Do this. Alright. Now, there. We'll just go ahead and put a torch there just to be safe, and then close this in. Really? Alright, there we go. So these are all slowly but surely filling up. There we go. Pretty much all going to be filled very shortly. Alright, so once all of those are filled, what are we going to need next? We're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 ME interfaces, I believe. So let's come over here and have an interface. Rotarycraft. 5 of those. Ooh, I might need some more basic processors. Which, of course, once I automate all of this with ME interfaces, I can have it make, I can teach it how to make itself the processors. But I need it's missing processors. Yep. Basic processor. I want to make that. There we go. That should speed that along. There we go. Interface. Alright, so if we come back over here, there we go. Alright. 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Okay. Nope. Alright, so there's that. Now we are going to need some import buses. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 import buses. And they don't have to be anything fancy. They just regular old import buses. And let's see, what's it going to be missing here? We're going to be missing some of that. So let's go with neither. Sure. Do that. This has power over here, so I should be able to go ahead and just stick that in there. So let me have that cook up, and then I'll get some import buses, and I'll be back. Alright, so there's a rotarycraft handbook. I thought it might be time to start doing some of that. So 6 paper, a couple redstone, and an iron. Easy enough. And then, from what I've heard, everything you need to know about this mod pretty much is in here. So that is impressive. So I think I'm going to read through some of this, and we'll see what it takes to get started, and I'll be back. Alright, so it looks like one of the first things I'm going to need to start with is just some stone bricks with a redstone in the center to get a blast furnace. And then I'm going to need a single piece of coal, a single piece of gunpowder, and a single piece of sand. Probably also going to need some buckets. Let's grab a couple of those. And some iron. Sure, we'll grab 32 of that. Alright. So theoretically this will work. We're going to need somewhere to put this thing. For now, maybe over here away from everything else. Sure. Alright, so you need those things in there. And then we're going to need iron. And then we have to raise the temperature, I believe. So there's the entry on it. Coal in the left, gunpowder in the bottom left, sand in the top. Okay, I think it did that on its own. Heat the machine to start the machine will operate more efficiently with more slots full. Okay, how do you heat it? That's my next question. Because this is like one of the things I have to do is make lubricant with the canola seeds out there, which I kind of knew, which is why I started them. But to do that, you have to run a grinder, and to make a grinder, you need this steel. So I'm assuming you can heat it up with, like, lava? I don't know if you would put the lava around it or in it, or if you need another one of the machines in the mod, but I don't know how you would need another machine in the mod to make the thing that's required to make it. Like, oh, I see a couple points of increase there. Okay, let's do this. Go back and get a couple more buckets of lava. Alright, so let's go there and there. It does appear to be slowly but surely heating up. Okay. I suppose I can do that. And put lava on top of it as well. Although, you know what, maybe the lava doesn't have to be touching it and it will check around itself as well. Worth a shot. What the heck? Come on. Go get one more bucket of lava. I'm trying to think of just anywhere I can stick lava around this thing to heat it up quicker. Alright, I guess we just wait for that to heat up. Alright, so with this thing, I actually ended up getting 38 steel from 27 iron. Because you get bonuses based on this stuff. And it seems like the temperature does really help. So, I don't know if the temperature gives you an extra bonus or not. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and stick these in there. And we'll just sort of let it run and do its thing, and that'll be good. I set up a farm outside the standard MFR farm, but I suspect that canola seeds cannot be harvested with the harvester because it's working, it's just not harvesting any of them. So that's a little annoying. It has harvested some of this cotton, but not the canola seeds. Those canola seeds are from me. And you can see there's a lot of fully grown plants, and it's not harvesting any of them. So I suspect that it's not automatable. I think that's a word, automatable. So, yeah, so I'm going to take all that down. And I guess just plant it myself. So, back in a bit. Alright, so one of the next things we need to make is a work table. Work table, not a walk table. Alright, I don't know if I have any crafting tables. There, just in case. I should have everything else. There we go. A work table. I don't remember if this needs to be powered or not. What happens if I just sit it right there? Does this have to be powered? It's almost used with the exception of the blast furnace and the work table itself. Simply use a craft redstone signal. A quick down in there. blah, blah, blah. Okay, so it does not have to be... What? Are you... Oh, my lord. Are you kidding me? Apparently you also can't break it. So that's good. And I guess I need a... lever. Not so sure about this mod. So far, I don't know. A lot of people say really good things about it, but it seems very frustrating right at the beginning. That, it just seems very frustrating. Like, that's a very detailed book, but there needs to be like a, why am I out here? No, I want to go down there. There needs to be like a, this is how you start this mod section or something. Like, if you've never done this before, here you go. Alright, so if that's there, what's behind this wall? I don't think I had anything back here. Okay, it looks like I can do one more. Alright, and then there we go. Oh, this didn't break. Come on. There we go. Alright, so for now, let's go ahead and do this. Actually, no. Go ahead and trim out the rest of this. Like so, and then we can just make there. And then I'll need a floor and all that, but I'll get to that in a second. So we put the work table there. We put a lever on the side because it needs a redstone signal. And then I need the actual stuff. What do I want to make a grinder? Nope, a grinder. One of those. So let's do this. Oh, it won't do it. So I need a saw and a gear. 2 saws. A gear. I need a base plate. And I need a couple of steel ingots. Is that all? Yeah. Alright, so theoretically we should be able to do this, and that, and this, and that. Grinder. Alright. So, we've sort of got that set up. Back in a second. Alright, and then to finish up here, I just need to add 2 lead to this to get a magnetostatic engine. Now, I think I'll need a shaft in between the engine and the grinder, but I'm not positive. So we can test that out pretty quickly, I think. All we have to do is, let's grab some of these. If I slap that down there, and that down there, and okay, what does this thing need to run? It needs 4,096 for power and 128. So that leads me to think that I probably do need... So that's the right power. Is it the right speed? 128 Nm. Well, that's way more. So I'm guessing I need some sort of shaft. I'm sorry, did that just destroy my grinder? I mean, I Alright, that's going to do it for this episode. We're over time anyway. So, yeah, until next time, I'm Grub Doug Plays Games. See ya.